Hi there and hello everybody. It is Monday, June the 3rd, 2024. I'm Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, but what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're always going to be loved and lovable. Loved and lovable for the rest of your life. I'm trying to figure out what I need right now for this boost today. As I stumble over loved and lovable, I think what I need is just for it to be done. And so we're going to just get it done. Week 23, an open heart. Day 1, take everything with a grain of salt. Watch your back. Don't trust just anyone, especially someone who says, "Trust me, baby, I know what I'm doing." Be skeptical. Check it out. Trust your gut. Words of wisdom. Who wants to be anybody's fool, especially in a world where people mistake kindness for weakness, or worse yet, for stupidity? I was riding in a car with a friend when we passed a homeless woman strategically positioned by an intersection. She was displaying an elaborate multicolored sign asking for money. I asked, if she's so broke, where'd she get the money for colored markers? More than once, I've seen this friend stick $1 or $5 in a beggar's hand and gently say, "God bless you," and mean it. My friend, now happily married with 2 children and a promising career in the arts, explained why. Years ago, she had lived in a big city. That's where she'd gotten into recovery for her own addiction to alcohol and other drugs. I was lost, she said. I didn't believe I could get sober. I was using so much cocaine, it's a miracle I'm still alive. The way I was living was disgusting, but I couldn't stop. I decided to attend a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. I was so confused, I didn't even feel like I belonged there. Then this one guy befriended me. I felt safe with him. He'd sit by me at meetings. He called me a couple times each day. Sometimes he even stopped by my apartment and walked me to a meeting just to make sure I'd go. He never did anything out of line. His friendship was a big factor in saving my life, and I'm sure I would have kept going. And I'm not sure I would have kept going to those meetings, especially in the beginning, if it hadn't been for him. He was a nice guy and had been clean from drugs for some time, but about the time recovery started kicking in for me, he started using heroin again. I couldn't believe it at first. He avoided my calls, then he just disappeared. One day I saw this beggar. He was all dirty and disgusting, sitting up against the wall with a tin cup in front of him. I looked more closely. He was so out of it he didn't recognize me, but I knew him. It was the guy who helped save my life. I'll never look at a beggar or a homeless person the same way again, my friend said. It could be me someday. Or it could be someone who saves my life, or the life of someone I love. How do we stay unjaded in a cynical world? The answer to that question isn't any easier than doing it. We do the best we can. The value is that some people call it not becoming jaded. Others say staying open. They call it staying open. A few brave souls actually say the words opening our heart. Call it whatever makes you comfortable. That's the value we'll practice this week. All right, moving forward to day 2. When I looked up jaded in the dictionary, I was surprised to learn that it doesn't mean cynical, bizarre, or hardened. Jaded means bored, tired, overexposed, and exhausted. It's understandable that we shut down. It's a protective response to too much pain, but after a while, being closed becomes boring. Too much exposure to anything, even something that's good, can cause us to shut down. Balance is the key. The application for this week's theme of an open heart is that it's time to unjade ourselves when we find ourselves preaching to people instead of sharing honestly. When we haven't felt anything except irritated or tired for a long time, when we've just been through one of a series of incidents where we've had to protect ourselves, when we lose our sense of wonder and awe. These are the times to unjade ourselves. It's time to unjade ourselves when we find ourselves preaching to people instead of sharing honestly, when we haven't felt anything except irritated and tired for a long time, when we've just been through one or a series of incidents where we've had to protect ourselves, and when we lose our sense of wonder and awe. And there's so many people in this life that have lost their sense of wonder and awe. Let's not be one of them. And it's very true, like yesterday's reading was speaking to. It could be any of us who falls on a hard time into dirty and disgusting mind viruses and life conditions. It could be us one day, or it could be someone who saves our lives. And staying unjaded and staying open, or as we say here, honest, open, willing, and available, just makes even this moment easier for me. As you saw earlier, I was getting a bit tongue-tied because I don't even really want to be here recording. It's nothing about the project. It's just I was really enjoying Planet Earth instead. And after becoming more honest, open, and willing and available to this moment, this has not been too shabby of an experience. So thank you for holding space with me today. On Mondays in Love and Action Network, we talk about the sacral chakra. I will not get into all of it. Satsvisthana in Sanskrit, but this is all about exploring various aspects of creativity, emotions, relationships, and sensuality. And here are some questions that help you delve into those areas and gain some deeper insight. Just some food for thought today. What activities make me feel the most creatively fulfilled? What activities make you feel the most creatively fulfilled? How do you express your creativity in daily life? How do I express my creativity in daily life? Are there any creative pursuits that I've been neglecting or suppressing? Are there parts of your life or your flow that you've been just leaving to the side? These are areas of your creative flow and your self-expression that you know would bring you joy, but you're like, you know what? I don't have time, or you're like me, there's just a list of excuses. I'll get to it eventually. But maybe those creative pursuits hold a key to your happiness. Here's another one. What doubts or fears hold me back from fully expressing myself creatively? What fears or doubts hold me back from fully expressing myself creatively? Let's do a few more. How comfortable am I with experiencing or expressing my emotions? Do I allow myself to feel a full range of emotions, both positive and negative? Are there specific emotions I tend to suppress or avoid? Why do I suppress or avoid those emotions? And lastly, how do I cope with overwhelming emotions or emotional pain? I've been recommending that for all of us, and I mean all of us, who experience overwhelming emotions and emotional pain, that we choose to find and anchor ourselves in stillness. This idea that we are at every moment making choices about our moments, and we can choose joy, and we can choose to joyfully overcome. I will pick a few mindful cards, maybe just one because time is running out. Releasing anger. Releasing anger. Anger is a natural emotion, but I recognize that holding on to it can be toxic for me. I look at the person who has caused me pain and see them as a human being that they are. I release the anger I feel and free myself. Free myself and expanding to love. Thank y'all so much for coming to Daily Boost today. I will see you tomorrow as we rise from our sacral chakra into our solar plexus chakra. Stay loved and lovable, stay in your power, stay in your joy, and I'll see you around the network.